Hey everybody, excuse me. We are live on the Daytripper Photo Show. Tonight we're talking about Google+. We've had a lot of questions and people asking about how do you use this mystical, magical thing called Google+. So we have the expert of Google on our show today, our regular co-host, Gabriel Bousquet. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Irregular show host.
He is an irregular show host. He is a super Google fan and knows everything about everything there is to know about Google+. I'm building you up here, Gabriel.
Absolutely, 100%. Google
We were just
spelled with 4 R's or 3?
Before we started the show, we were talking about some of the features and going over some of the things we're going to talk about on the show. And yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff that Google has going on right now. And Navi, how are you doing this week?
Good. I am excellent.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yep.
You mentioned that you don't really use Google Plus for the same things as maybe like Gabriel would.
No, I think we can agree that Gabriel is super techie guy. I pretty much use Google Plus for Daytripper stuff, and that's about it. So I'm going to be learning.
Yeah, actually, pretty much same here.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, we find our social media or we find our tool and we use it for what we need it for. It's not like we're going to go and I use Google Plus for a lot of different reasons that I would use a Facebook or I would use Twitter or things like that. I go to it for different reasons. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, all the things that Google Plus has to offer. And the show is going to be recorded, of course, like our shows always are, so people can always go back and review these shows and get little tidbits out of it at their own time as well. And on that note, if you're watching us right now on YouTube or later on YouTube, please click like, subscribe to our show, let the world know that you watch us, maybe share it with some friends. We try and come up with some content that actually helps people out a little bit and make it look fun, too. As fun as we can make it.
Not to put too much of a downer at the beginning of the show, well, I think Google Plus is fantastic, and I can name 1,000 reasons why it's better than Facebook. It's, the vultures are circling. I don't know exactly how much longer it is for this world. I don't think they'll ever completely shut down Google Plus, but it definitely hasn't gotten the adoption that Google hoped that it would. Mm-hmm. And whereas the entire company idea was Google Plus was going to be the center, the 100% center of everything Google, and everything Google would branch out of it, they're starting to pluck it for parts right now, and a lot of the it used to just be Google Plus, and now it's photos and streams. So they've taken the photo section out of Google Plus, made its own standalone app. So a lot of things that were sort of the best parts of Google Plus, they're starting to kind of pull them out and make them separate. So now Google Plus is just streams, and so it's still it has huge adoption in areas other than North America. It's this third biggest social network in the world, but in North America it never really caught on. And
they're hoping for like a Facebook killer, as I guess you can call it, but it never really took off. I remember when it first came out, like a lot of people were trying to try it out, but I think it's got too confusing for some people. Whereas Facebook, when it first started, was very basic.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why we do these shows as well. I mean, this is not the first time we've talked about Google+. And every time, every time we do it, there's always more information and there's always changes that have been made. And it seems to be this constantly evolving platform, as Gabriel's kind of saying there. So we're going to get into some of the things that are interesting. And remember, if you're watching us right now, use the Q&A app. It's all built into the Hangout that we're in right now. So if you hover your mouse over the window that you're watching, you'll see the options show up along the left side of your window. Click the thing that says Q&A. On the right side, you'll be able to ask us questions, chime in, say hello. By all means, if you're watching right now, you can just type in, hey guys, how's it going? And we'll see that, and we'll say hi back. And that's the way it's going to work for the whole show. If you have a question, if you have a comment, an experience you'd like to share, that's the whole point of the Q&A, is to get you involved, get our community involved with what we're talking about. So it's not just what we have on our agenda, but we're going to answer questions that you guys need the answers to. So on that note, I just want to say a quick shout out to everybody at LensPen. Unfortunately, we've lost our rep that we've been dealing with at LensPen, and I emailed them today, and they are still head over heels with what we're doing here at Daytripper, and they're still definitely going to be keeping our sponsorship going. So thank you very much, LensPen. And Gabriel, it's funny. you kind of helped me out with this little side job doing slide scanning.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I'm about 970 slides in right now, so I'm moving along pretty good.
About 1,500 left to go.
Just about, yeah. But what I noticed is the scanner itself, every time you take the slides off and you put them back on, a little bit of dust falls off the slides, dust is in the air. I touch it with my fingers, and as some people like to say, I got greasy fingers. So I've been using this Sidekick from LensPen to clean up the screen, or to clean up the glass on the scanner. These are really made for your phones, just so you can go in and keep your phone nice and clean. As you can see, I'm trying to be a Vanna White here for a sec. But it's working amazingly well on the scanner, and that's just a feature. Again, using this product as I'm using it every day now, I'm finding new uses for LensPen equipment all over the place. So very cool stuff, and thank you, LensPen, for staying involved with us. And the Peeps and everything that they have now coming out, great product, great new toys. And of course, the photo challenge for this week and going on to next week, we have an extension to this photo challenge. It's 3 weeks, not 2, is still Sharp Motion, hashtag Sharp Motion. And the winner of this is going to win one of the Sidekicks and the LensPen as well. So thank you to LensPen for keeping that sponsorship going, and we'll keep it going forever. You guys are awesome. And I see that Blake says, also note that Google Apps is one of the fastest growing services in education in the States and Canada. That includes Google+, which means a new generation of kids will be growing up with G+. That's interesting. What do you think of that, Gabe? You have a thought. I can see you have a thought. You don't think kids are going to be growing up G+, or you know more that you just can't really reveal yet?
No. I just I don't know if it's because it comes with the apps, and he's totally right about the apps. You know, I mean, I don't know anybody under 20 that uses Word. Everybody uses Google Apps. But I don't know if like, you know, just because it's tagged along next to it, people are going to start using it. But I mean, kids nowadays, as I sound like the old grandpa, but kids nowadays, most kids nowadays aren't on Facebook anymore, because grandpa and grandma and mom and dad on Facebook, they're all using Snapchat and you know, and Instagram.
Back on MySpace.
Sorry?
We're back on MySpace.
Back on MySpace. yeah, with Justin Timberlake.
Just Justin Timberlake by himself.
Yeah.
There's so many different options out there for people to use. I think the biggest attraction that I have, and we've had to Google Plus, is the fact that we can do a show like this.
Right.
I mean, this is just an amazing resource for a small business like Daytripper Photo to get the word out there and, you know, to show the world what we're talking about. And without it, I'd have to spend tons of money to have some sort of network server and the right equipment to make this kind of thing happen. So I don't know if you can't do this through kind of Skype or anything, can you?
No, you have to create some sort of. There's a podcast network called This Week in Tech, or Twit, and they created these machines called Skypeosaurus, and it's basically multiple machines, and yeah, it would cost a lot of money to do something like that. And Google Plus is. I don't want you to think that I'm not down on Google Plus. I think it's 1,000 times better than Facebook. The only thing that it's missing is people.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go back to the Q&A for a quick second. Mantaj, hello. How are you doing today, sir? I'm glad you're watching. He was on one of our sessions, the low-light action session with the wrestling. He had a great time doing that.
Oh, cool.
Jordan, hey, Bryan, did you just say that you were running a slide conversion service? Oh, boy, I just opened up a can of worms.
$15 a slide, minimum 200 slides.
Actually, Jordan, there's quite a few of us that can help you with that. Navi can help you with that as well. Probably has a lot more time than I do to do it. And also a colleague of ours at work, Lindsay, can do that as well. So Henry's has the service available. By all means, bring it into Henry's, and we can make sure we take care of that for you. This was just a huge, huge thing. Big, huge undertaking.
Yeah. A couple thousand slides.
And plus, I was sick for several days, so it gave me a lot of time to just sit and scan, which was really cool.
There you go.
Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's show, guys. Let's start talking about all this stuff, Google+. What's the fuss? Like, why are we even talking about Google+? There's so many different social media outlets. Why aren't we doing this on Facebook? Why aren't we trying to teach people how to use Facebook? Why is Google+ confusing to people? Any thoughts? Navi?
Well, initially I thought they're like like I said, like Facebook when it first came out, it was very simple, And I think when Google Plus came out, they had all these awesome features available. It just kind of got overwhelming. And that's the other thing. There wasn't a lot of people that I knew on Google Plus, and the people kind of tried it out, tried it out, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm. So who is on Google Plus? Who's attracted to the service?
Oh. Well, I mean, you were saying you always kind of say like Google Plus is like Facebook for photographers kind of thing. A lot of photographers, like it because it gives you X of data. It kind of, when you post it, it's not all these Facebook rules or, I guess, copyright stuff, right? I'm sure there's some sort of loophole in their service agreement, but.
So you're suggesting possibly the copyright's a little bit more stringent on Google Plus than it would be on Facebook?
I don't even know. I don't know.
It's a little bit more photographer friendly.
So what do you mean by that, Gabe?
They don't. So Facebook has. I mean, a lot of it's pretty boilerplate, but Facebook has arrangements put in place where basically if you upload photographs, they can use those not only for advertising but in advertising. And so if you post up a picture of your kid playing in the park, they can take that picture and use that picture to advertise to your friends and stuff, which I really wouldn't care about is if I got a cut, but they also keep all the proceeds,
right?
Stuff. So, Facebook has a little bit more. They have a little bit more fun with your photos. The other thing too is just the image quality. If you upload a photo to Facebook and then upload the same photo to Google Plus and look at them side by side, the quality on Google Plus is a lot better than on Facebook. They've made some improvements over the last couple of years, but it's still better on Google Plus. And a lot of times I'll upload a photo, like something I took at night, and I'll put it up on Facebook, and it's like, it just hurts to see like the banding and the compression, and it's just
the exaggerated digital noise and grain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not good.
A lot more on Facebook.
What's that, Navi?
It gets compressed a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's all part of it. I mean, the photos is a huge part of what's attracting people to Google Plus for the photography. And as Navi said, the EXIF information is all intact, so we can use that in our community. And we're going to talk about the community specifically as well, because to me, again, other than the Hangouts, the community is the huge attraction and it keeps me on Google Plus. But one of the cool things is if somebody posts a photo that they have a question about, we can hit photo information or photo details, and it tells us the shutter speed, the aperture, the ISO, the date and time, a lot of key information for us to help identify if it's motion blur or bad focus or all these other things that we can use to help us critique a photo. So it's a huge asset for somebody looking to learn from their photography and also to display their photography, because as you guys suggested, the slideshows are beautiful, the pictures look great, and there's less compression to your image. Now, Google Plus also has their Photos service, and you mentioned how they're starting to split apart these offerings.
Yeah, as of a few weeks ago, it used to be that you had to use Google Photos from within Google Plus, to the point where Android had its own standalone app. But if you were on an iPhone and you wanted to access your Google Plus photos, you actually had to go into Google Plus and then select Photos. And so they've separated them now, and now it's Photos and Streams, where Google Plus is just Streams, and then Photos is its standalone app. And this is one of the most exciting things that I've run into in quite a while when it comes to photo management. And a lot of my customers are iPhone users, and they have iPhones and iMacs and stuff like that. And this is basically the service that they've been hoping that Apple would release for years and years and years. And Apple just seems to be dropping the ball further and further and further with what they did to Aperture, and then what they did to Photos, and their iCloud thing that just never seems to work. And you're supposed to take a picture on one device and have it available on everything else, and it's just never there, and it never works, and it's frustrating and annoying. And Google was born on the web, and they've got it figured out, and they've nailed it, and this new service is just fantastic. So
okay,
I would
so
encourage.
the service is called Photos.
Yeah, well, Google Photos.
Google Photos. And
Yeah.
what is it? Like it's just like you already have your pictures on your computer. And
So it's a central. So a lot of people, and I'll take myself for example. So I've got my home computer. I've got like my main machine. I've got a laptop. I've got a phone. I've got a tablet. I've got an iPad. So I have many devices, and I want to be able to access my pictures on all of my devices. And so what Photos does is they have a standalone app for iOS devices. They have a web app for PCs. So anything with a browser, you can just go to Photos there, and then they have a standalone app for Android as well. And it is as simple as it sounds. You know, like Google has the web figured out. You take a picture on one device, it's available everywhere.
So if your syncing is turned on, as soon as you take a picture on your cell phone, it's on your home computer.
Exactly. Now it's all through a web interface, but what they've done, so I'm going to do a quick screen share here. Oops, no, that was a capture. So
do we have to smile now?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is my Google Plus photos, right? And these are photos that go all the way back to 2002, 1998 actually. I've got photos up here going 2002, 1997, right? So I've got, you know, just about all my photos in there going back many years. So every picture that I take with my phone, right, and, you know, beautiful pictures with my new Galaxy 6 Edge, which I just could not be happier with the camera. It's fantastic.
That's cool.
I take a picture on my phone, and it's instantly available everywhere. If I edit that photo, that edited photo shows up everywhere. Everything that I do on one device is automatically mirrored everywhere else. Now, you know, it comes with pretty basic. I was a little bit disappointed with the editing capabilities just because Google Plus Photos had much better editing capabilities with the integration of Snapseed, but I have a feeling that this is just sort of the launch features, and we'll see a lot more coming out soon. So you can do your basic editing. They've got filters here, so you can add all the kind of Instagram-y type filters. They've got a really cool and intuitive cropping and rotation tool there, and you just, you know, you can play around with it that way. But what the real secret sauce behind this is in the search functionality. So if I click up here on search functionality, you'll start noticing not only different faces, but different places and different things. So Google, with its machine learning, has gone through all my photos. Like I didn't tag any of these people in my photos. It just scanned through all my photos, found like faces, and automatically tagged them. So I can click on here, pictures of my wife, and it goes back, all the way back, and finds pictures of Trish all the way back to, that's 2013, right? And it's automatically going in and tagging pictures of Trish without me having to do anything. Right, so you know, I can go back and find pictures of other friends, and it automatically goes through your photos, tags, well, sorts all the pictures of your friends into groups automatically.
And then it'll also actually ask you at one point, who is this person? You tell it who the person is, and it just knows from their back who all.
No, nothing. It just does it all on its own. There's no interaction, and that may be down the line. Right, that may come up down the line, but at this point, it's 100% machine learning, right? So it's not only people, and you can click on more here and see, you know, all the people that it tags. But the amazing thing is, so let's say here, right? So here's pictures of Jaden, right? But it tags photos of Jaden all the way back to almost the day he was born.
Wow, that's some pretty impressive facial recognition.
Yeah, so, you know, here's Jaden. He's got a completely different face. It's a round face. You know, he's got big ears that stick out, big eyes, stuff like that. And now you look at him now. He's completely slimmed out, right? His ears are different, his eyes are different, right? Everything about him is different, but it still tags him in all the photos. So then not only not only people, right, but then you can go places, right? So when you take pictures with your camera phone, it automatically geotags them, right, and it sorts them here by places. Or if you don't have geotagging on, but it recognizes landscapes, it'll automatically sort them for you that way. And then not only that, and this is the one that I love the most, is things, right? So it automatically created this category called birds. And it goes through all my photos that I've uploaded, and it separates out all the pictures of birds.
Wow.
So when we went down to Niagara Falls, to the safari down there, they had this budgie cage, right? And they have like all these budgies, and you can go in and they land on you and stuff like that, and it goes in and it finds all those photos. Now, it doesn't always get it 100%. It's machine learning, right? But that is kind of a bird-like turtle. That is actually the rare canary turtle.
Oh yes. I was gonna say.
But, I mean, it's pretty bang on. Okay, it's got a dog in here, right? But it's like it got about 99%. Okay, a whole bunch of horses. Okay, this is what we call a demo fail. No, look. There's birds in the pictures of horses. Yes. You see? And some of the ones that it tags, like, it'll say, oh, here's a picture of Trish, and I'll be taking a picture of somebody, and there's a picture hanging on the wall of Trish in the background, and it identifies her face in there. Like, it's incredible. So, it's amazing. Christmas, weddings, skyscrapers, New Year's, mountains. So here's all the pictures that it thinks may be mountains, right? So you can sit there, and let's say you went on a vacation to Paris, and it was during the winter. You can put in the search terms Paris, snow in Paris, and it will find those pictures because it can identify snow. It knows where Paris is, and it'll just pull up those pictures automatically. So what this does is this eliminates the, oh, you should see this picture of this really cool car I saw the other day, and then you're sitting there scrolling through your pictures for 45 minutes trying to pull it up. You just put in the search terms up here, car, right, and starts pulling up all the pictures of all the cars.
So do you have to import these pictures in?
So if you take them from your phone or any mobile device, and you have the Google Photos app installed, it just automatically uploads them, either using your mobile data, or you can set it to do it when you get home and it uses Wi-Fi only. Okay. And in all honesty, I mean, I agonized so long about what camera to bring with me in Vegas, and I bought the Sony A6000, then I returned it, and I bought a lens, and I was going to rent a lens, and I mean, I took 95% of my pictures with my phone. Because it's got the geotagging built in. It's on you anyways. You don't have to carry it around. You don't have to worry about getting drunk and falling down and breaking it like you do your 5D Mark III. So, most pictures are taken with your phone, but if you take pictures with your primary camera, they have the Google Photos uploader that you just install a small app on your computer, and it will just find any photos on your computer and upload them to there autonomously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, so this is like, this was taken in Montreal a few months ago. I've taken 2,000 pictures since then. So if I was trying to show this picture to somebody, right, it would take me forever to go and dig it up. So I just did a search for car, right, and I could probably, in all honesty, Montreal. There you go. Did a search for car Montreal. Right, and here's the pictures right there. Now it's also got some airplane. Well, there's pictures of cars in there, right? But this was the airport in Montreal, right? And this was driving in the car to Montreal. So the machine learning is fantastic, and you can just pull up quick pictures super quick.
Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, so that's the photos part. And again, this is not a social part of the Google interface. That's what Google Plus is. Google Plus is their social media. Photos is just a place for you to have your own images and what?
Sorry, I hate to cut you off, but I missed the best feature.
Go for
it. Okay, just a second. Let me get to something a little bit more family friendly here. Okay, so let's say, and this has always been the biggest thing. So you go out, you hang out for the day, right? You're hanging out with friends, you take a bunch of pictures, and then you want to share them with your friends, right? So what do? Do you upload them to Facebook? Well, now they're public to the world. And in all honesty, this is why a lot of kids nowadays aren't using Facebook, because they've realized the object permanence of Facebook. You put something on Facebook, you go for a job, they Google your name, your Facebook profile comes up, and it shows you 8 years ago, getting drunk holding a bong. And in all honesty, a lot of kids are using Snapchat nowadays because it's pictures only, or they're using Instagram or Snapchat, which, if you don't know what Snapchat is, basically it's a chat app where you can send texts and pictures, but they only stay on the other person's phone for 5 seconds, and then they're gone forever.
Unless it's screen captured.
Right. You can get a notification if the person does a screen capture, and write back and be like, dude, WTF. Like, you weren't supposed to screen capture that, right? So there are sort of built-in fail-safes with that. So the nice thing with this is, let's say, hypothetically, this whole section here was one event, right? Say it was the bird, bird photography, or say it was, a birthday party. So I can click here on the first one, shift-click on the last one, right? And now all these pictures are selected. I go up to this little, this is the symbol. I click on that, and I go get shareable link. Okay, so it's going to create a link right now, and I'm going to copy that. Now, what I can do is I can text message that to anybody, I can email it to anybody, I can do anything I want with this link. And it works just the same as from your phone as well. You can do everything that you see me doing on this web interface, you can do on your phone, and in fact, it's actually easier to do on your phone. And I do 95% of my picture organization through my phone nowadays, just because with this app it's easier. So I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna click on paste and go. And what you can see here is it's actually already created a web gallery with all these photos in it, laid out in a nice, easy to see way. And this is exactly what the people that you share these photos are going to see. They're going to see this web gallery. It's going to come up on your phone. It's super easy for them to access and click on. And not only that, but let's say you're using this for sending pictures to a client, right? They can click on this down arrow here, and it will download a zip file of all those photos right to their computer. Or you went out and you took a bunch of pictures of a bar mitzvah for a family member, and you want to send them the photos that you took. You just click on there, and they can download them all onto their computer.
Now,
so
do you have to be signed into Google Plus to utilize this? Like, can you send this link to my mother down in Florida? And
you can send it to people that are still using AOL. I have a few customers that are still using AOL, and they can receive these photos and download them, and it's super easy to use. It's cross-platform. It's incredibly easy to create, and that's the biggest thing for me. I have all these customers like, oh yeah, I took all these pictures. How do I share them with my friends? Well, now it's literally 3 clicks away, and they can view them, they can download them. Everything's super easy. So, sorry, cool. I should have mentioned that earlier, but that is one of the best features of this, is just the ease of sharing.
Well, awesome, very cool. And I'm going to share my screen in just a second, but I'm going to go to the Q&A. Jennifer Newberry just showed up. She says, I'm here, what did I miss? And did we discuss yet why people prefer Google Plus over Facebook? Because she so prefers Facebook. And I will vouch for that. You post a lot of stuff on Facebook. And then she says, almost more important is, where is Dixie? Okay, so Dixie is banned from the room right now because I've got slides all over the place. And every time she comes in here, her first thing that she does is she goes for the blower. I don't know what it is. She loves the blower. And then after that, she starts going after the slides and standing on the scanner, and that's not cool. So Dixie has been ousted from the room tonight. If she shows up, she'll get the boot right back out again. And she says she thinks the only thing she uses Google Plus for besides the Daytripper community is for the Picasa web albums.
Right. So what the new Photos app pretty much replaces the Picasa web albums. I think the standalone desktop app will still work. I know it had a lot of tie-ins and integration with Google Plus. I don't know what's happened to that, but what I would say is just get the photo uploader and just start uploading your photos directly to this and use this instead.
Okay, now on that note, sorry, unless you have more, Gabriel.
No, I was just going to say, just really quickly, if I do a screen here, you can see that they've even in the app, they've made it a lot, everything's mirrored here, so my left is right, so just bear with me for a second. Everything's easier to use, so they have this new year view where you can see, 2015, and it shows to you month by month, but then you can just pinch to zoom in, and it gives you a day view, and you can pinch to zoom in again, and it gives you a more granular view, so there's Friday, right, Thursday, Wednesday, and then you can zoom in again, and it puts everything in a collage sort of thing, and then you can zoom in again to see individual images. So it's an incredibly easy, very good looking, and incredibly responsive app. And the nice thing about this is, I've got about 108,000 photos, I think, on here, and it's using zero storage space on my phone because it's all web-based. Right,
That's
so you can have all your photos completely and instantly accessible without it filling up all your storage. So I know I use Picasso a lot in the past, but I would recommend just switching over to this because they're probably going to be discontinuing Picasso at some point in the near future anyways.
Okay, so Marjorie says, thanks for that, Gabe. So far, she hated the photo app, and I admit so did I, but she's going to take a closer look at it now. Jen says, what app is that? My video stream lagged for a minute there. It's the Photos app in Google+. It's all part of the whole Google+ infrastructure now. And Sean Johnston, hi.
Hey, Sean. Oh, is that what he said? Is hi?
He just said hi.
Oh.
Sean's crooked right now. His back is all that, so he's all crooked.
Oh, that's no good.
Jen says she loves how her Samsung Google-based phone has the auto backup feature that backs up my phone's photos to the Google account, yet another reason why Android phones are superior to iPhone. And you kind of touched on that a few minutes ago, how you said like the iPhone integratability is kind of weak, where the Google one is much better. I'm going to do a screen share here. And, okay, so the Photos thing I wasn't a huge fan of. And just, I think yesterday or something, I finally clicked the button that said, okay, let's use Photos. So I hadn't done anything with it until just now as we were talking, and I went into where I thought were my photos. So again, if we go back into Google+, I'm just going to go to my regular window here, click on Home, and I just went to Photos, just like that. And it brought me into where my photos usually are. Google Photos gives personal photos, a comfy new home, and blah, 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 and then got it. Cool. So there's just pictures I've taken on my cell phone lately. Of course, there you go, Jen. There's Dixie. But over here, there's these little icons. One says Assistant. This one here is all my photos, and this one here is Collections. When I clicked on Collections, all of my individual days, all the posts that I made are already organized. My Thursday, my Wednesday, Tuesday, every day from the Vaughan Film Festival, the Waterfalls session. I'm scrolling on the wrong screen here. My waterfall session, Emsdale, all of them are already broken down for me here. And if I want to even get more into it, oops, that's not what I want to do. If I scroll down, where did I see it? Assistant, all photos. No, I don't know where I saw it, Gabriel.
What are you looking for?
There's Collections, and then it had, how do I get to the Stories? Here
Stories. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Stories is, I didn't want to go too deep into this because we can turn this into the Google Plus, the Google Photo Show if you want. But what they do with albums and stories and stuff is just amazing.
It creates an entire story based on your day. Even tells you where you've traveled to and everything. Labels them and does some really cool things. So all of that stuff that you were talking about, I didn't have to do anything. It was just done.
This is all, yeah, and that's the thing. This is all automated. This is all 100% done for you, and you get a little notification in Assistant saying, hey, by the way, we made this little story for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, would you like to keep it or get rid of it? And not only that, but it'll make movies for you. So Jaden was out in the parking lot riding his bike the other day, and I took some videos of him, and I took some still pictures of him riding around his bike. And I got back home, and it said, hey, we've put this movie together for you, and it added styling, it added music, it did all the editing and all the jump cuts and everything like that all by itself. It would have taken me an hour and a half to do that.
It's a
myself
really cool
at my
feature.
computer. Yeah, and it just like, hey, here's this movie. If you like it, you can keep it. If not, just click here and we'll delete it.
Exactly. This is what I was looking for. As soon as I clicked in the search engine, there's places showed up. And there's things, birds, cars, and so on. And at the bottom, creations. And this is where all those little I just load pictures onto Google Plus, and it makes these little GIF. Here's Dixie. There you go. These little GIF videos. Or it takes one of the pictures from the waterfall session and kind of mystifies it and makes it look all funky and plays around. There we go. It's finally developed. So it's just really neat what it can do automatically. It stitches panoramics automatically. I just took a bunch of pictures and it merged this into a panoramic I had no clue about. So
if you, let's say you're taking a picture of somebody in front of a monument and there's a bunch of people walking by, if you just take a picture of them, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, it'll recognize you're trying to take a picture of this person in front of this monument, and then it'll blend all those photos together and create one photo with nobody else in it except for the person that you're taking the picture of.
Jen,
this is stuff that takes like an hour to do in Photoshop. It's just like, here you go. Just have it.
I've actually got an app for my phone called Magisto, where if I've shot a couple of videos and photos during a day, it'll automatically make it into one of those videos as well, with music and the whole thing. Just like what you're saying, it's probably the same thing as what Google's doing. But all of a sudden, I get this message: you've got a Magisto video of your day, and some of them have been really cool. Jen, okay, so Jen says that Joker photo that I just scrolled past is creepy. Hello, this is my photo list here. Why wouldn't it be creepy?
It's all zombies and clowns.
Exactly. We should expect nothing less, Jen. It does like the mini GIF feature that Google has, the Auto Awesome. And yes, you can turn it on and off. And yes, Dixie. Lots of Dixie. Jen says, why didn't I hear Navi? Oh, hey, didn't I hear that Navi got a cat? What's Navi's cat's name and where is he or she? So, Navi, your cat died, though, didn't it?
My cat... Yeah, my cat Miss Jingles. She wasn't around for too long. She was on the table, moved her around, she fell off, broke into many pieces.
Yeah.
Swept her up, bought a new cat.
Oh.
Those little ceramic cats, they just don't last like they used to.
No.
That's Navi's cat.
That's what
no, you better not get a real cat. You can't even keep a fake one alive.
Whatever, it wasn't doing its job. Yet, so.
There you go. What you do is you keep the shattered pieces of the old one and you show it to the new one. And you're like, you learn.
Don't crack.
Actually, it broke and it's just like, its face stayed intact. I was like, oh, I should have kept the face.
That would be creepy. You think my photos are creepy? That would just be really creepy. Miss Jingles is the best name ever, she says. Okay, Rich has a good point here. He says, Google has done some really nice pattern recognition to identify where your photos were taken without the use of GPS.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Incredible. Sorry?
How does that work?
Well, I mean, it knows that if you take a picture, say I take a picture of Trish and she's standing on the Toronto skyline, and it can identify, well, there's the CN Tower and there's the Rogers Center, and they're really far away, so you must be on Center Island, right? And it'll just geotag you on Center Island, or it knows landmarks, and it knows, like, if we walk into the backyard and I take a picture of her with my 5D Mark III, it's not going to know where that is, right? But if I take a picture of her with my 5D Mark III somewhere downtown in front of a recognizable landmark, then it can say, oh, okay, well, this is probably where you were. So it's just the machine learning. I mean, it's what they've been able to do with this is mind-boggling. And it's I heard somebody the other day say, it's like, oh well, I did a search for dogs and it pulled up some horses. It's like, yeah, you got 800 pictures of dogs and 5 horses. It's like the Louis C.K. bit when he's talking about, oh, my Wi-Fi on the airplane is really slow. You're in a metal tube, 50,000 feet above Earth, flying at like 800 miles an hour, and yeah, your internet's a little bit slow. Do you realize where you are and what you're doing?
Hey, I'm from Vermont. Yeah. Internet was a new thing for me until about 4 years ago. So. No, it's so true. Some people get so, I don't know, wrapped up in the latest, greatest, most fastest kind of stuff. Bottom line is Google does all that. We have all those things open to us. Let's get into how to actually operate it, because a lot of people get confused with uploading a photo, let's say. Where does the photo go? How do you share a photo? What do you do with the photo? Are you able to do a screen share and show a basic idea of how to do that?
Sure.
Oh, in the meantime, Navi, Jennifer says, congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you.
What's this I hear about you using a selfie stick?
Yep, I'm shooting my own wedding.
You just don't trust anyone else, do you?
Well, I want to always be ready, you know, and I can make candids. Well, I'll make it look like a candid, like I'm not looking, but my arm will be.
That's awesome.
That'd be great. Okay, Gabe, go for it.
I'm just trying to find a picture to upload.
Where you're at right now is the home page, and what we see on a home page is all the people that you follow. So at one point in your life, you've liked Lifehacker or OtterBox or all these people. You've added them to your contacts, your circles in some capacity, and that's why they show up on your stream, right?
Right.
So you're not going to see stuff that you don't want to see that way.
Exactly. So, okay. So here I am, and this part here this is the stream. This is very. Oh my gosh, I'm just clicking all the wrong stuff. Okay, so this is very similar to Facebook, except for the difference that it looks good, and it's nice, and it doesn't make me want to tear my eyeballs out every time I look at it, and not everything's blue. And
there's no advertising in the corners and.
Oh yeah, I know. I turn my ad blocker off and I go look at Facebook. It's like it's assaulting my face. It's terrible.
Your face.
My face. So there's several things that you can do from here. So this whole section here is posts from people that I follow, and Nest just came out with a bunch of new products today that's going to cost me about $500. So
$550. You're supposed to buy me a present.
Oh man, they came out with new security cameras and smoke detectors. But anyways, that's so when you go to Facebook, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna pull up my Facebook here, and let's hope that there's just happy stuff on there. Okay, so this is the Facebook stream, right? And this is the Google Plus stream. So again, automatically I find this a lot prettier.
Michelle says, Gabriel, how do you really feel about Facebook?
You know what? Facebook is where the people are, but okay, the whole reason that everything's blue is because Mark Zuckerberg is red green colorblind, right? So he made everything blue because it's pretty much the only color that he can see, and everything will stay blue for all eternity, even though.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's why it's always been just that one single color. As I'm looking dramatically into the webcam, realizing that it's not on. So when you go to post something on Facebook, you can add a photo, you can tag friends, you can say how you're feeling and tag a location and stuff like that. Whatever. But on Google Plus, you can include links, YouTube videos, events, and the neat thing about Google Plus too is when you add an event, it automatically creates a photo album, and you can make it so that any picture that you take during that event automatically gets uploaded to a shared photo album. So you can have 15 people attending one party, and every picture that they take during that party all goes into a shared event, which is kind of fun. And then you can also, this is something they added recently, where you can do polls as well. But what we're focusing on here is photos. So
also, I just want to make one quick note. The event comment, you were talking about how when you create the event and so on, anybody that is also going to that event and they take pictures will be added to that shared folder.
It will be given the option to be added to that shared folder.
So you can create a true event and take all the photos from everybody that are at that event, and then after that's all said and done, it creates a story for you,
right,
with everybody's photos rolled into it. with all the auto awesomes and all that kind of stuff rolled in too. So it's a complete different experience.
Yeah, it's
you turn off though. Let's say somebody who was at the event didn't want their photos.
so when you first open your camera app, it will say, "We notice that you're at this event. Do you want your photos to be auto added to this?" And from there you can say yes or no. So you have to, with everything Google, you have to opt in. You have to grant it permission to do.
As opposed to having to opt out.
Right. Yeah. So to add a photo, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, this is a photo of me taken by my friend. Okay? And then you click on Photos here, and you can, you have a couple options here. You can just drag the photo right into this area that says Drag Photos here, or you can say Upload from Computer, or browse through your Google Plus photos. Now I have a photo already on my second monitor, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it into here, and you'll see it's going to upload and automatically process, right? So then you get certain options here. You can turn on auto enhancing. You can tag somebody in the photo from right there. You can add text to the photo. So I can click on here and go add ass. And I think you can drag it around. No, you can't. Not. And so you can, create memes and stuff like that. I'm just going to click cancel and get rid of that. You can rotate them, or you can just delete it. You can add it to albums in your Google Plus photos from there. It's a whole bunch of different options. Now, the one part that I like about Google Plus, again, over Facebook, is you have a lot of control over who you share it with. Now, 99% of what I share to the public. But let's say I just want to upload this photo, and I just wanted my close family to see it. I have a circle, and we can go into circles a little bit later, called Family. So I can click on that, and only the people that I've added to my family circle, there's only 17 people in there. Only the people in that family, when I post this, will be able to see this post, right? And you can even go a little bit further and go disable comments or disable reshares. So even Mark Zuckerberg ran into this problem where they were having a Christmas event and everybody was hanging out in his kitchen, and his sister took a picture and posted it to Facebook, and then somebody that she was friends with on Facebook that was in the media saw the picture and reshared it publicly, and then tens of thousands, hundreds of millions of people had this photo that was supposed to be a private photo. Right, so even the Zuckerbergs get bitten, and he has two sisters, and it was the sister that doesn't work for Google that posted that picture. One of his sisters works for Google. So I can go even more granular with this, and I can say I want to share this just with Bryan.
No,
right? Bryan's in.
I'm really glad that you're going into this, as you call it, granular control. Tom asked the question. Tom Pearson's watching. He says sometimes you take 5 pics. You only like one, but Google Plus still has all the pictures, all the pictures you take. You don't plan on showing them to everybody. You may not want them shown at all. How do you avoid having pics that you don't want uploaded automatically or viewed? So that kind of rolls into this. You just don't tag those people. You don't choose to share them with people. Is that right?
Right. And not only that, but usually at the end of the day, I'll just go through my photos, right? So here's, my friend Adele. We were at the drive-in the other day, and I had just gotten the S6, so I was playing around with the camera, and so I took, this is a collage that it made automatically of him. I just took a series of photos of him, right? So this one's a good photo, this one's a good photo, this isn't really a good photo, so I'll just go and I'll just click delete. Right, so at the end of the day, I just do a quick review of all my photos, and I delete the ones that I don't like. I took 3 pictures of my cousin's T-shirt, and and then at the end, I kept the one that I liked the most, and I deleted the other 2.
Mm-hmm. And Jen makes a good point. Things like the auto awesomes that are auto-generated, they're all private. So you have to
they're
go
private
back
until
and
you choose to share them.
Right.
Like this is an animated Auto Awesome that it created, I was setting up our 18-person tent in the backyard just to make sure that I remembered how to do it, because it takes about 45 minutes to do. And so every few minutes I would go out and take a photo of it, right? And it saw that it was a series of photos and automatically turned them into this Auto Awesome. That's
so just
a little bit
to be
slow.
Clear, you're not actually clicking forward, forward, forward. This is the program just running photo like a sequence.
Yeah, it created this Auto Awesome, this animated GIF. Now I can go back to the actual photos themselves, right? Here's the first one, and oops, I'm going the wrong way. This is my poop garden. It's that's all the manure, but right now that's all there is. There's nothing planted yet. And so, here's the tent going up, and it even skipped a couple photos. Like this photo was in there as well, but it knew that it wasn't really a series photo, so it skipped that one and put all these ones together into an animated GIF, and put Jade in at the end of it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jennifer asks, is there a way to private message someone on Google+? She can never figure it out. Also, it was answered, a private message in Google+ is essentially a post with only that person in the share field. So if you wanted to share this, again, as a private message, you can get rid of family and just keep me there, and that would only go to me, and I'm the only one that would see it. And if I tried to share it, it would say, this is originally shared as a private message. Shares are disabled. Right,
exactly. And I can go in here and I can go disable reshares. Now I have a corporate account, so my Gabriel at PCTantrums.com is actually a Google account, and if you use this through business, you can actually have this extra option here and say keep within PC Tantrums, so nobody can share it from outside of the company, which is really neat for internal collaboration and also security. So if I were to click share on this right now, only Bryan and Navi would be able to see this photo. I could take one of them out of there and just share with one of them, or I can share to the public, and then everybody would be able to see this as soon as I click on share.
I'm going to do a quick screen share as well, just to show one more thing here. Another way that we can do a direct message, I guess you can say, within Google. This is my home screen here, as you see. Along the right side, there's all these conversations. So if I just want to send a quick conversation to just Jennifer, I can say Jen, there she is, first one pops up. And I can, during the show, as we're talking, say, hey Jennifer, Dixie is asleep. And now I'm having a conversation just with Jennifer. And as you can see, Gabriel apparently thinks I rock. So this is another way that you can do these private messengers without the world seeing you. It's just basically like Facebook Messenger, but it's Google Messenger. All right, so I'm going to stop that. Oh, I stopped it too soon. Sent me a photo of yourself.
Yeah, I just showing how you can send images through it as well.
Put clothes on next time you do that. Jeez.
Oh, Bryan.
Yes. What's that, Abby?
In / pony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? Do a screen share. Show me what you're talking about.
Okay, well, Gabriel, you do the screen share.
Okay.
Keep that in, because you know what I'm talking about.
Screen 2. I'm going to go here, Bryan, and bring this over here, / pony. Oh,
nothing.
You didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
Oh. Is it backslash? I'm pretty sure it's /
Maybe.
Now we're just playing with slashes.
Oh.
Okay. Let's go on to the next thing, and I'll do some quick research.
Okay, well, there is one really great thing that we should show, and this is something that Blake pointed out to me. If you ever want to see all of the comments and things like that you've posted, there's a little tip that you can do. I'm just going to paste this here, copy, and I'm going to do a screen share. And hang on one second, folks. Here we go. Bam. Okay, so I'm screen sharing again my homepage, and I'm going to, in the search engine up here, just paste what Blake sent me. I think I'm sharing the wrong thing here. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Maybe this is it. No, it's not working. Anyway, this thing where if you paste this in, you can all of a sudden, I think I got it now. Here you go, share what's new. Right up on the top here, you see where I've got this quote, Blake's name, dash INURL, colon, Blake's name, SSP, quote. When I do this and I hit search, everything that Blake posted will come up.
Ah.
So if you want to see your own stuff, you just basically replace Blake's name with your own name, and all of your own stuff will come up. Bryan, no space, oops. Do that there, and replace Blake's name with my name.
You can tell this was created by programmers.
Yeah, and there's all the posts that I've made. So if you want to find out your own stuff really quickly, there's another little tip there. That was a great tip by Blake. All right, Gabe, what do you got going on here?
So if you look at my screen share here, /pony stream. Pony!
Oh, isn't that fun?
Or if you go rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. Oh, I may have to wait for the pony stream to end. When do the ponies end?
Pony parade.
Oh, apparently you don't need the SSP part at the end of that thing that I just posted. Blake just corrected me. It worked. What's all this funky color stuff going on?
I don't know. I don't think the pony parade ever ends.
Try closing it.
All right, well, I'm over the pony. Let's go back to the Q&A here. Let's see, what else do we see? I got to move my webcam. Facebook will often dull colors on photos or pixelate photos or smudge them so they aren't as sharp. Google Plus doesn't do that. That's true. No, Google Plus does not do that. The only thing Google Plus will do with your photos is make that auto awesome, make it look kind of funky, and then of course you don't need to share that.
Right, it's all private first by default.
Jen says she doesn't have that bar on the right side with all the friends or circles or whatever. So the Messenger, is that an app you have to download, Gabriel?
Oh no, you should see up in the top. You'll see two icons. You'll see the little double person, and then the little quotation thing, and you have to click on it for it to pop out.
There you go. Cool. So click on the little thing there for it to pop out. Okay, actually Marjorie already answered that in the Q&A. Great. Rich says you can have Google automatically back up your JPEGs. Unlimited backups if you choose Google's option to scale it to the images to a maximum 16 megapixels. So unlimited. That's pretty cool.
Unlimited. Yep. And 16 megapixel is, they showed an example of the compression, and they do an incredible job with the compression. When you look at the original and then the compressed image, there's really no visible difference whatsoever. And 16 megapixel is, you can still do a lot with that. There is an option to upload full resolution images, which you can do to your heart's content. And the only thing is that it applies against your Google storage. So everybody gets, I think it's like 16 gigs or 32 gigs worth of free storage when you first get a Google account. And then you can buy additional storage. It's really, really cheap. I think you can get about 100 gigs for $5 or something like that. So
and Rich
you can add to it.
Rich also says that he finds Facebook goes a little heavy on the compression. Google Plus compresses less, so the images look better. Cool. And
or they compress just as much. They're just better at it.
Oh, there could be that too. All right, cool. So great stuff so far, guys. It's a lot of good information. And we're just about out of time. Is there anything else that you wanted to throw out here for the conversation, Gabe, or any other questions that people have watching that they want to get answers to before we say goodbye? Anything else, Gabriel?
So what I would say is, and one of our viewers touched on this earlier, is the auto backup functionality of the Google Photos. Even if you don't plan on sharing your photos, even if you don't plan on doing the auto awesomes, even if you don't plan on doing any of that, I would still install the app because what it does is I have mine set to do it over mobile networks because I have a lot of data, but let's say I go out for the day and I go to the zoo with my family and I take a bunch of pictures. Every picture that I take while I'm taking it is being uploaded to the cloud, right? So at the end of the day, we're on our way home. I drop my phone, it gets run over by a car, or I drop it in the polar bear pit or something like that. I don't have to freak out because all my photos are on there and they're all lost. And this actually happened to my wife several years ago, actually right after Google Plus came out. I installed the Google Plus app on her phone, and at that time, Photos was built into Google Plus. And Jaden decided to use her phone as a bouncy ball. And phones do bounce, but only once. And so, it wouldn't power on, and she realized, she was like, whatever, I'll just get a new phone, who cares? And then at one point it dawned on her that she had every single picture of Jaden from the day he was born, all the way up to, I think he was 2 at that point, on that phone. And she was, devastated. And I logged into her Google account, clicked on Photos, and there was all the photos all backed up. And she got a new phone, she installed the Photos app, and they were just all accessible from her phone. She didn't have to do anything. And what I would, just one final cap on this. If you have an iPhone, and you're using the iCloud functionality, just put this in anyways, because as an IT professional, I've been doing IT since '99, I've run into too many situations where the iCloud just doesn't work. And, Apple, it just works. No, it doesn't, especially when it comes to their iCloud. It is a bloody mess. So put this on there, set it up to back up over Wi-Fi only even, so when you come home, it'll back up to iCloud and the Google service.
And not use your data plan.
Right, exactly. Or set Google Plus to mobile and iCloud to Wi-Fi. But I would not, in my experience, I would not count on the iCloud to work. I've seen too many instances where it didn't, and I haven't seen any where the Google one didn't work. So,
Gabe, do you know the name of the Google product that covers all of the security settings? Marjorie saw it when she first came out, but she can't find it now.
Yeah, I'll find that.
Okay, and while you're doing that, I'm just going to kind of go over one more thing. You mentioned how your photos are all synced. Well, a service that the three of us use a lot is Google Docs. Whenever we do a show, we have show notes that we share. Once in a while, if you're watching our show, you'll see these notes pop up when we do a screen share. And live, during the show, we could be working on these notes, seeing all the same notes, working on them all at the same time. As we change them, we can see what's being changed. And even better than that, if I am working on a presentation, say I'm going to the camera club to give a presentation, or I'm doing something on a day trip where I have to make sure I'm keeping all my notes in line so I can cover all the bases that we're teaching on a day trip, like the birds of prey or whatever, I can make a Google Doc at home on my computer, and then just by looking at my phone, I can go into my Google Docs, see that document, and it's basically like having my own notebook that I've taken all my notes on. So whether it's Word program or Excel spreadsheets or any number of different things, it's just a completely shareable joint effort that we can work on together. So Google Docs has changed the way Daytripper Photo works, and I would be crushed if that was all gotten rid of. It's a huge asset for what we do. And I don't necessarily agree with you on this, Jennifer. If you have an iPhone, just throw it out and get an Android. Nah. Just don't do that. They're too expensive. Not good. And I've got my old iPhone, by the way. Still have it, and I still use it for a lot of things. Keep all my music on here now that I have space, no apps or anything, so I can use my dock that I paid for and isn't compatible with any of my new phones. I can still use it with my old one, and that gives me some flexibility still. Is the Google app for the computer the same thing as Picasa?
No, it's actually a web app. It's not a local app that you have to download on your computer and install. You just go to, when you're logged into your Google account, you just go to photos.google.com, and it will bring you right into there. So everything's done to make the synchronization possible and also save on bandwidth, everything's done on the web app, and that's what makes sharing so easy. That's what makes it so easy that when you share something, it just has that web gallery already because they're already online.
And as Rich points out, it's PC or Mac. It doesn't matter.
Right. That makes it perfectly cross-platform. You can do it on, Windows XP to Windows 10, or Apple, or Linux, or anything like that.
Anything with a web browser.
Yeah.
Yep. And when your photos are all protected and you've got unlimited photo storage, yes, can't go wrong. Have you got that up there yet, Gabriel?
Yeah. So what you want to do when you're logged into your Google account, so your Gmail account or any it's one password for all your Google stuff. When you're logged into there, say from Gmail or from Google, just go to myaccount.google.com. And that'll bring you to a page that outlines all of your security, all your personal information and privacy, your account preferences, and you can go in. And that's one thing that I love about Google is how transparent they are. They'll tell you everything that they have, all the information that they have about you. You can go and delete your browser history. You can delete your search history. You can, any information in there, you can see what they have, and you can choose to clear it if you want.
Very cool. All right, let's see, is there anything new here? But how does it automatically back up your photos if there's no software on your computer to detect new photos? That's a good question.
So that's where there is a small app that you can get, a small plugin called the Google Photo Download or Uploader. My keyboard has decided to, like the one Apple product that I have, has decided to not be a keyboard anymore, but a really awkward paperweight. So I can't do a Google search right now, but there is the Google Photos. Actually, what I'm going to do?
But can't you just say "Okay, Google" and it'll listen to you?
Okay, Google.
Aren't you Mr.
Google
Spock?
Photo Uploader. There you go. I just did a voice search.
There you go.
Backup photos from your computer. So if you go to here.
And Charity asks, what about Dropbox? I use Dropbox quite a bit. It's really slow. I have the auto camera uploader, so every time I take a picture, as soon as it connects to my Wi-Fi at home, automatically uploads those photos to my Dropbox folder, which you can turn on or off. I have it as an additional backup. It helps. But it doesn't have the same viewing kind of capacity. It doesn't have the same slideshows. It's all done through different steps and processes. Google Plus just seems to be a lot more fluid and works together in a different way. And I don't use Dropbox for that at all. I just use Dropbox to share full resolution photos with groups of people.
I feel like Dropbox is more like sharing a file than actually viewing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
And with the Google Plus Photos, with the Google Photos, anything that they're viewing, they can just click on one button and download them all in full resolution to their computer.
Cool.
If you look at my lower third there, https://photos.google.com/apps, that will bring you to a page where you can download the desktop uploader, and then that's just a quick way to get photos from your computer into the Google biosphere.
Cool. And Marjorie says thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Rich, for and all the rest of you guys out there who also shared the same link that Gabriel just posted on his screen. You guys are amazing viewers this week and very, very great contributing your questions and so on. The show would be a completely different show if we didn't have all you guys chiming in and giving us your input, so we really appreciate that. Jen has one more question. Does it only back up the photos that are on your hard disk drive? So if you delete photos off your disk drive, does it also delete off of Google?
No.
Google's a separate thing altogether.
Yes.
Cool.
But keep in mind that if you log into the web interface for Google, or let's say I pull up a picture on my phone from the Google's app, right, and I delete it from here, it deletes from everything. Now,
Right.
if it was uploaded from your computer, it'll still be locally on your local hard drive. But if it was taken through my phone and I delete it through there, then it's gone from everywhere.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to close the show today with just a thought about how to use social media. I mean, you get out of anything what you put into it. So if you're going to use Google Plus or Facebook or any of these things for getting your name out there, getting information out there, or just meeting new people, use it for that reason. One of the things that I always try and remind myself is that you have to interact with people. You have to get out there, comment, respond, not only to your own posts but to other people's posts. And this is great information that Blake shared with me as well. You don't just plus things. You leave a comment. You be nice. That'll get you out there meeting more people around the world. And you got to realize, as Gabriel already mentioned, Google Plus is bigger outside of North America than it is in North America. So you're going to meet people all over the world. It's an amazing platform. I use Google Plus quite a bit for the Arcanum, which I'm in Don Komarechka's cohort, and there's people in Australia and all over the place, and we basically meet in this community in Google Plus, and this is how we can coordinate all over the world and talk to people. So don't think of Google Plus as hanging out with your neighbor or talking with your mom, although my mom lives in Florida and it does help with that. But ultimately, it's a global platform where you can meet people of all different nationalities and backgrounds and see photos from all over the world. And I find that so interesting too, because we talk about all the time how in North America we read left to right, so we compose our photos differently, and you see photos from people who read right to left who compose their photos completely differently, and we're getting inspiration from all these different people and places. It's just a great opportunity to get out there and grow as a photographer yourself, put more into it and get more out of it.
And the other nice thing too is, well, pictures are a universal language. Somebody can take a picture and just write down their feelings on it. A lot of the posts that show up on my stream are in different languages, Arabic or Chinese and stuff. And actually, Google Plus has Google Translate built right into it. So if somebody posts up a post to one of your pictures in a different language, you just click on Translate, and it shows it to you in English.
It's so timely that you just said that. Veronique Lacaille, Vero, one of the folks who's come on several of our day trips, and she's just a blast. She just posts, thanks for all the great info. That was great. Vero posts in French. And sometimes I'll look at her posts and I'll hit the translate just because I know some French, but not all French, and it helps. It really does help. And the translate thing is loose. Sometimes it's good and sometimes not so much, but sure is better than just guessing what she's trying to say, right?
It's better than my French.
Mine too. All right, Gabe, well done tonight. Good job tonight, man. That was a great amount of content, and you were right there with your answers. It was beautiful. Thank you so much for trying so hard and giving us such great advice tonight. Well done.
My pleasure.
And Navi, I know, like you said at the very beginning, this isn't your ball of wax. Did you take anything from this tonight?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Gabriel was showing me the photos thing, and I was kind of like, but it's easier when you're actually seeing the process. So it was definitely very informative.
Yeah, me as well.
He's the Google guy, so.
What's that?
Gabriel's the Google guy.
He is the Google guy.
Force him to use an iPhone eventually.
I used to use an iPhone. I just like Android better.
I'm gonna stick with your Palm Pilot.
Yeah, right.
I used to have a Palm Pilot. I had 2 Palm Pilots. They were awesome.
He gave his old phone stash. I mean, since the last time we had our cell phone show, you had this many. Now you've got like this many. Oh, there he goes. Stash of phones. Jennifer, the show can end without a Dixie cameo. Yeah, just a few phones there.
Going all the way back to the iPac, there was just a digital assistant and not a phone at all. To my first BlackBerry, to my first iPhone, all the way up to what I just got recently, the Galaxy S6 Edge, which I'm absolutely in love with the camera on that thing. So that's
awesome.
It's amazing.
So many phones. And I just got a new phone, my new high-tech flip phone. Hey, how's it going? Sorry, it's my great-great-great-grandmother. She passed away about 12 years ago, and no, doesn't matter. Oh,
probably hang out with that person. That's
what's
weird.
that?
She's calling you from the grave.
She's calling me from the grave on my old phone that should be in a grave. I'm trying to find one last photo that I want to do a screen share with here. just to keep certain viewers happy, but I just can't seem to find anything. Nah, forget it. I was going to pull up a picture of Dixie. She's gone. She's asleep somewhere, and she's banned from the room anyway, so not allowed to be in here. Score 1 for Android. Yeah, Android's rule. Jen, you got to get off the Android kick here. I have an Android. My Sony Android phone. I love the phone. I hate Android. If I could have an iOS interface on this, I would be so happy. All right, and Rich says he loves the phone museum. I have to keep looking. It's under my webcam. I have to look down there. Okay, so great. That's it. We're done. Before we say goodnight, I just want to remind everybody that the current photo challenge is #SharpMotion. This could mean a lot of different things. Navi had an original idea for what we were going to use it for. Can you remember what that original idea was for sharp motion?
Nope.
Motion with sharpness, maybe?
I think based on what people have been submitting, it's what I thought of.
Awesome. There have been some really cool shots.
Yeah.
Please, if you're interested, join the Daytripper Photo community. You have until next Wednesday to submit your photos for #SharpMotion. And at the end of it, when it's all said and done, we're going to pick our overall winner, and that winner is going to get the Lens Pen lens and tablet cleaner. As I mentioned, the little Sidekick, awesome little tool for cleaning your tablet or your scanner, if that's what you're doing. And that's about it. Yeah, it's really cool. It works very, very well. Oh, and don't forget, guys, the Daytripper Photo Fireworks session is still going on June 30th. If you are interested in making better fireworks photos, this is going to be your absolute best opportunity to do so. There's going to be a whole barbecue, a little social time, about 2-hour get-together social time for everybody to get to meet everybody else in the Daytripper community. After that, a full class on how to shoot fireworks, not launch them, but actually take photos of them. And then after that, there's the 3-hour, 3-segment experience timed for photography. So when everybody's ready, everybody's focused, that's when we launch the fireworks. And we're not talking about, little toy fireworks here, guys. We're talking about the beefcake cakes, like the fish tank. This is just a couple of the samples that I've got here. We've got the multicolor. This is like a 60-shot blast going off here. We have, this thing's pretty
They're all in your house.
Well, no, not all of them. I dropped them all off at Sean's house because $1,500 fireworks in my place with a crazy cat, not good. These are just some of the samples that I had to try out. This is the Big Bubba, 25-shot Big Bubba. I mean, there's some awesome stuff that we're going to be launching, and it's all timed, like I say, for photography. It's one of the best experiences you'll ever have for fireworks photos. Please, if you're interested, join the Daytripper community and register for this fireworks session. It'll be a blast. Okay, guys, that's about it for tonight. Anything else to add before we say goodnight?
Nope.
No, all right.
No, I hope this soap, try it out. If you have any questions, contact us. That's what we're here for.
Exactly. Well said. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you all next week when we do our photo review for Sharp Motion, and I hope you all have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.